Hello and welcome to Reading and Writing with Scholarity. I am Jennifer Ledwith. This video focuses on vocabulary in context questions. Let's get started. The first thing you want to do when you approach a SAT reading and writing question is to read the question. Here's the question. As used in the text, what does the phrase tracing most nearly mean? So let's break this down. As used in the text. So not necessarily how tracing can be used multiple ways. But as it is used in the text, what does tracing most nearly mean? Let's define and refine. Notice that there are words that are highlighted in yellow. Those words may be words that are new to you, or maybe you've seen them before, but you're like, I'm not quite sure what that word means. So we're going to, as we read, I recommend that you, and if you want to, you can look these words up as we read along. As I read along, I'm going to define the words to help us to refine our understanding of the text. All right. As I grew, and let me read the information at the beginning first. The following text is adapted from Mary Seacole's 1857 memoir, Wonderful Adventures of Mary Seacole in Many Lands. So, I beg your pardon, Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole in Many Lands. What that tells me is that this is a memoir from someone named Mrs. Seacole, from Mary Seacole. So this is a story that a woman wrote about her own life. And with it saying Wonderful Adventures in Many Lands, it's probably about traveling. Okay, let's read. As I grew into womanhood, I began to indulge. So indulge is to like treat yourself. Like, I just ate some ice cream, and I indulged in some cookies and cream ice cream. I'm treating myself. I began to indulge that longing to travel, which will never leave me while I have health and vigor. Vigor is physical strength. So Mrs. Seacole is saying as she grew into an adult, as she grew into a woman, she began to really treat herself and really in that longing. So she used to really seriously think, have this deep thinking and deep, really wanting to travel. And which she thought would never leave her while she had her health and her strength. I was never weary. Weary means tired. I was never weary of tracing the route to England upon an old map, and never followed with my gaze the stately ships homeward bound without longing to be in them. So she longed to be in the ships. And of course, this is written in 1857. So we didn't have airplanes back then, so that's how she was going to travel. And longing to be with them and see the blue hills of Jamaica fade into the distance. At that time, it sounds like if she sees the blue hills of Jamaica fade into the distance, it sounds like she is in Jamaica and maybe she wants to leave Jamaica because the ships are Jamaica's fading into the distance as the ships move. At that time, it seemed most improbable that these girlish wishes should be gratified. In other words, fulfilled, like that she could achieve these wishes. So it seemed like she was never going to be able to travel like she wanted to. But circumstances, which I need not explain, enabled me. So it helped her to make this dream possible. Enabled me to accompany some relatives to England while I was yet a very young woman. Now I'm going to take the answer from the text and I'm going to put it in my own words. So again, the question, as used in the text, what does the phrase tracing most nearly mean? Okay, so when I return to it, I say, and notice how I'm not looking at the answer choices. I am relying on the text and what I believe the answer to be. So I was never weary of tracing the route to England upon an old map. So it sounded like what she was doing is she would put her finger on where Jamaica was on the map, and she would follow that map. She would follow that route from from Jamaica to England. It sounded like, so maybe she was, maybe she put her finger on the page and was following that route with her finger on the page, or maybe she was just looking. Maybe she was just looking at the route from Jamaica to England upon this old map. Let's see what answer best matches what I said. A, discovering? No. B, following? Maybe. That does sound like it. Like she was following that journey. Searching? No. She could look directly at the map and see the route. Sailing? No. Not sailing. Not yet. So let's see what the answer is. B, following. Yes, B, following. All right. Thank you for watching SAT Reading and Writing Review today. And I'm Jennifer Ledwith of Scholar Ready. If you'd like to continue preparing, subscribe to our channel and make sure you check out the links in the notes to keep on preparing. Remember, higher scores, open doors.